Hello guys, welcome to today's class. In my previous videos, I've been talking about basics of Python. Um, I've been using a platform which I've explained in my past videos, and the platform is Google Colab, where you can write your Python code without installing, Python on your system, and you'll be able to write your code. So, but in this video, I'll be moving a bit further, a bit higher. We are still under the basics of Python, but after this particular class, I will not be using this Google Colab again because we'll be doing more advanced, a bit advanced than the one class we've been having. So, but it's still part of the basics of Python. I can say it's a level 2 in the basics of Python. So this is Google Colab in case you missed my past videos. So where you can, this is a platform that is a cloud-based platform where you can write your Python code, be it for machine learning, software development, and so on. But from now on, we'll be looking at some other platforms where you can be writing your code. So in this class, I'll be talking about um, development environment, which I know is very paramount in software development, machine learning, and so on. So the first thing you have to know is you need to install Python on your system. Now, how do you install Python on your system? It's very easy. You can go on Google, you can search for Python, or you can say download Python. So once you open it, now you can see the very first option there. It gives you the website where you can download your Python. So you can just select it from here. You can see it says download Python 3.1, 3.2. Before we have 2 point something, or now we have 3 point. Now, but before you said looking for Python with a different operating system, Python for Windows, we have for Linux, we have for Mac OS and other. So if your system is using Windows, you can just click on this and go ahead and download. If your system is 32-bit or 64-bit, you can just go on and click on it and download. But I'm not going to download this because I have it already installed on my system. So once you download it, double click on it and follow the online the instruction on the screen, then you'll be able to install your Python. So after installation, you can verify the version of Python that is installed on your system by typing this code, opening your command prompt. Command prompt is for Windows. You can easily get it from this start button. Click on start button. You can type command prompt, and once it shows, you can open it. Then from there, it will bring you to this environment. So you can type Python, then version, the double dash and version. So if you press enter, you can see here it shows me the version of Python that I have, on my system. It will continue to suggest upgrade for you as you are working with it. As you are upgrading your system, it is continues to suggest updates to you. So the one I have on my system now is Python 3.10.4. So that is that on how you can go about installing your Python. So after installation of Python, we have other development environments which we have we call code editors. Now under code editors, we have Visual Studio Code, we have Sublime Text. These are environment, these are tools where you can write your Python code offline. You don't need to be online to use your Visual Studio. You don't need to be online to use your Sublime Text. So just the same way you downloaded your Python, you can always download your Sublime Text or Visual Studio. Let's say Visual Studio Code Visual Studio download Visual Studio. You can just type it in full, download Visual Studio Code. So that's VS Code in short form. You can select the very first one because most of the time the major ones are the one you see at the top. So just click on the link, then click on download. I have a lot of them in my downloads folder here. So I'm not going to download that because I have them here. You can see my Python, you can see a lot of things I've downloaded. So I'm not going to download that. So if you are using a Windows, you select the operating system you use, then you click on download. Just follow the instructions on the screen, then you'll be able to install your Visual Studio. So the same thing also applies to Sublime Text. Sublime Text. Same thing applies to Sublime Text. You can just click on download Sublime Text. So choose the Windows that you use, click on it, then you start your download. So with that, you'll be able to use you know whether Visual Studio or Sublime Text code editors for your um, coding or for writing your code. Now we also have PyCharm. These ones are integrated development environments. Probably you might have been hearing about IDEs. These are the two major ones that you use as a Python programmer, that you use. So the same way you go on Google, you can type on download PyCharm. Download PyCharm. These are IDEs. They are more advanced. They are more advanced. So can go through the download instructions, because I can't actually download everything on my system again because I have them downloaded already. So when you go online, search for it, you can see PyCharm Professional and so on. Windows, just go through the ones that are available. I think they have the one for students and also for professionals. So you can download this or you run it from here. But I would advise you download so that you can run it from your system. So we have the system requirement for PyCharm. So you can go through the requirement for the system, I mean for PyCharm usage for its download and installation. Just check everything now because as a programmer, you need to know how to Google, how to search for things online. But I'm just calling your attention to it so that you can know that apart from the Google Colab that I have been using to write my code all this while to teach you some of the basics of Python, we also have some other environments, some other tools that we use, and I've mentioned them under the code editors. We have Visual Studio, we have Sublime Text, we have PyCharm under integrated development environments. That is under the IDEs, we have PyCharm, and we also have Jupyter Notebook. Now, for this Jupyter Notebook, for you to download it, you might not download Jupyter Notebook directly. You will need to download Anaconda. You download Anaconda. There's what we call Anaconda. I'm still going to open all this, or let me just run through all of them before I start opening them on my system. So you can see Anaconda. If I click on it, so you just follow the instruction on the screen. You can always go through it, check for the downloads. You can go through this one, check for it, then click on download, then follow the instruction online after the download. You can see the installers, you can see Linux and so on, Windows 32, Windows 64. So just go through it on your own. You'll be able to understand it. So after downloading all these things and installing them, they are not difficult to download. So I'll be launching Sublime Text. I already have it installed on my system. So I'll be clicking on Sublime Text here. So when you open your Sublime Text, this is how the interface is. Though I've actually used it to write some code now, but this is how the interface looks like. Now, by the time I start using it, you will understand it better. So just like this code I have here, hello world. If I want to run it, what I need to do is just to come under tools and click on build. It will run it below here. This is where we have it's command the output interface. When you write your code up here and you run it by clicking on this build. And remember, in Sublime Text, if you are using Python, you need to come under this build system and select the Python you are using. For me, I'm using Python 3, so I've selected it, and that is the language Sublime Text will run your code. So you have to select this under tools, you come under build system, then you select it before you start running your code by clicking on build. So you can see that I told with my Python code, I told the system to print out hello world, and you can see the output down here printing hello world. So the more we use it, the more you will understand. So the next one now is this is Visual Studio. This is my Visual Studio. When you download and install your Visual Studio, you have a kind of environment like this. You have a kind of environment like this. So you can see I also wrote this code, print hello world. I'm just using all this simple code for you to just see. So if I want to run this again, I can just come here. You can see this play like button. If I click on print hello world, so you can see the output here. This is where it shows the output. This is where it shows the output. So that is introduction to this environment, that is Visual Studio. Now all these things, all these platform I'm talking about, you can actually work with command prompts with them, but we'll get there, not in this video, but just to call your attention in order for you to know that we have other platforms, other tools where you can write your Python code. So the next one I'll be opening is a PyCharm. Now this is my PyCharm. After installing, downloading and installing it, you have a kind of environment like this. You see, so after writing your code, we also have this play like button here. When you click it, it will also display the output at the bottom here. But I'm not going to run this because it has some other things that I might want to edit in it. So but I'm not going to run this. So it displays the output here, but majorly the one we'll be working with is Visual Studio and Sublime Text. So I can work with Sublime Text today, and tomorrow I can decide to work with Visual Studio. They are both common when it comes to Python coding. Now for the Jupyter Notebook that I talked about under the IDEs, Visual Studio and Sublime Text are under code editors. They are examples of code editor, but the examples for IDEs are PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook. But for this Jupyter Notebook, I told you we need to open it through Anaconda. So which means you have to download Anaconda, and I've shown you how to just go through that one by going to Google or any search engine you use, search for Anaconda, download it, then follow the instruction on the screen to install it. So after installation, when you launch it, let me try and open Anaconda here because it has a lot of embedded platform in it. So it has a lot of embedded platform in it. I'm going to minimize this. The Visual Studio. So you can see already Anaconda is trying to open. I'm going to minimize this. And this also. So Anaconda is trying to open. Normally this is the process. It shows something like a command prompt environment. So it's trying to open. It takes a bit of minute for it to open. So when it opens, then you see the different, as you can see it's coming up gradually. We see the different platforms on it. So which means through Anaconda you can have a lot of other platforms where you can do one or two things. Writing code, Jupyter Notebook, it even contain Python. It has a lot. By the time it opens, you will see what I'm actually talking about. I'm going to pause this video and wait for. Now Anaconda has opened. As you can see, you can just click on remind me later for this. So if you look at this, we have a lot of things under Anaconda. We have a lot of things under it. PyCharm, we even have PyCharm there. We have R Studio. We have Visual Studio in it. It has embedded platforms where you can do a lot of things depending on what you intend doing. So but for us, what we are interested in under this IDE is Jupyter Notebook. So for Jupyter Notebook, I have talked about it. Once you click on launch, it looks like Google Colab. The interface looks like Google Colab. It works with cells. When it opens, then you will see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to compare it with Google Colab. So I'm going to pause this video now and wait for it to open. Now Jupyter Notebook has opened. Probably after you click on that launch, it might ask you which of these platform do you want Jupyter Notebook to open with. You can choose Google Chrome. You can choose any of the browser you have on your system, depending on what the system suggests to you. Now, once Jupyter Notebook open, this is what you have. So if you need a new kernel for you to write your note, you can just come here. You can see under this name, you can see Python 3 IPY kernel. You just click on it. So it will open Jupyter Notebook for you. So you can actually work with Jupyter Notebook offline. You can work with Jupyter Notebook offline. So you can see the cell. You can start typing your code. For example, if I say print hello world again, I say print hello world. You can see by the time I click on this run, you can see that it has printed it out. This is the output. So you can compare it to what we have in Google Colab. You can see Google Colab also, we have cells. So it works with cells. This is Google Colab and this is Jupyter Notebook. So you can add cells, you can continue to add cells, as many cells as you want. So but majorly if you are going into machine learning, machine learning AI, Jupyter Notebook is very good for that. It's very, very good for that. So, but I'm just bringing your attention to it so that you can know that we have a lot of these things that are available for our use. So, I believe with this little introduction to the different code editors that we have and the IDEs that we have, you should be able to choose the one that suits you. You can actually choose PyCharm to be writing your Python code. You can choose Jupyter Notebook to continue to write your Python code. You can choose Visual Studio under the code editors, and you can also choose Sublime Text. All these things you can control them using your command prompt also, but that scope is not for this video. Thank you.